Hello, this is Kevin Ferry, another Marketing Murmurs. Sorry I wasn't around last week, looking after the kids, etc., etc., school holidays for all the non-parents out there. This week I spotted Facebook is putting an end to what they call dark postings of ads. This is a response from the US presidential elections from last year. So this means that users will be able to click and view ads from any brand page and see what ads they are currently running, regardless of whether you're part of the intended audience. So for political advertising specifically, you'll eventually be able to see all the ads, not just the ones that they want you to see or they think you want to see, and this is very important. So you will also be able to see those ads from the last 4 years. So you'll see how much has been spent and the total number of impressions, etc. So there's quite heavy duty data in there. It's unclear at this stage how much of this additional data will be available for other industries, i.e. in our industry, in marketing. But this could be really game-changing in terms of competitive activity, research on social, etc. So watch this space on that. This feature will roll out in Australia in mid-2018 apparently. What's also interesting is, surprise, surprise, Twitter announced a similar plan. I find it really interesting that the fact is that it was actually just through the publicity in the press that actually Facebook and Twitter and alike then started changing their kind of data. So you can view it from this type of thing. What I find a little bit disconcerting around that is the fact is that why couldn't they have done that from the beginning? Why couldn't they have been more transparent? And more importantly, why can't they do that for brands now, really? Because I don't think we're getting enough visibility there. So that's really interesting that Facebook are putting an end to those dark postings of ads, because I just think we need to kind of like tighten up on that and get a little bit more, as I said in a previous post, a little bit more transparent around that. For me, I think there's two things going on here. One, the data is all, if I'm absolutely upfront, and I'll be honest, is all a load of old bullshit and it's lies and they're just making it up just to get more kind of media spend, or they don't know. Either way, it's kind of not great for people like marketeers who kind of rely on that kind of information. So that's interesting. Another really interesting thing I saw yesterday, funny enough, I was sitting around the table with my daughter and we were chatting and she was listening to an iTunes track, a guy called Logic. And the title of the hit song is called 1-800-273-8255. If you don't know that number, that is a number for the Samaritans for suicide prevention. It really struck me because I was listening to the lyrics because I said to my daughter, I said, God, this is quite dark and depressing. And the guy, the young guy, singing around wanting to die, etc. And I just found it amazing when I looked at the title. They actually had the Samaritans hit song was actually called 1-800-273-8255. And I actually thought this was really, really clever way of actually getting a very, very, very sad and very important message of support for any youngsters out there. And it avoids the kind of traditional way that marketeers would possibly try to reach that audience. I thought that was a really, really clever piece. Very, very simple, very, very subtle, but actually very, very clever. And actually, I did some research on it, and the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline has seen record numbers in call volumes and social media engagements. The calls are up by 33% compared to 2016. And they've had hotline centres across the country up and down where people have been calling in. The activity on Facebook, it started conversations, etc. And Google searches were up 100%. And it's already clocked 400,000 unique visitors on its website. And I thought that was just incredibly brilliant, incredibly sad, if I'm honest. But I just thought, what a very, very clever way to actually reach a very, very difficult audience in that way. So that was a great piece. That's all I've really got for this week. But I thought those were two interesting pieces of nuggets that I would share with you. Hope you're well. If you've got anything that you want me to share or talk about, then please DM me via Twitter at Kevin Ferry, or contact me through Facebook. Just search Kevin Ferry and I'll come up on the Google search. Good to see you and good to speak to you, and see you next week. Take care. Cheers.